Hey, what's up guys, Miracle back at it again with another video. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, turn on bell notifications, and other than that, let's get straight into the video.
Having my mom live with us was a complete nightmare.
I was excited because I would be able to see my grandchildren all the time.
But the truth is, my mom Liz didn't want the kids to be around her.
Liz has even gotten as far as putting a deadbolt on her bedroom door to help ensure that the kids wouldn't go in.
Alright, so you're already pretty crazy at this point. You said that you wanted to see your grandkids more, but you put a deadbolt on your door so they can't get in. That's kind of counterproductive, but let's keep listening.
Her room
I was supposed to help with the housework, help take care of the kids.
rather than offer to help out around the house. She would just complain about how things weren't getting done, how there might be dishes in the sink, how laundry was piling up, rather than lift a hand.
So if part of your agreement when you moved in was to help around the house, but you're just saying what's wrong with the house and aren't helping, that you're not really fulfilling your end of the bargain. So you're kind of nuts. If you complaining about it, maybe you should do something about it. I mean, that's just my thinking. Maybe I'm wrong. I quite possibly could be wrong because apparently I'm always wrong. But let's just keep watching.
My daughter's home was infested with roaches.
So one day there was a knock on the door. It was Child Protective Services.
Child Protective Services wanted to talk to me specifically about dirty dishes, that I was neglectful of the kids.
I was furious.
I did not call Child Protective Services.
What happened was Liz had sent the pictures she took of dirty dishes to a friend, and that friend in turn called Child Protective Services on me.
So if I was this mom, right, and Child Protective Services showed up on my door for dirty dishes and neglect, I would be pissed. And she said that she didn't call Child Protective Services. No, she just sent pictures to her friends, and their friend called. So, I mean, that's not really any better. That's not much better at all, but, alright.
I told her that, if she's going to threaten our children, she needs to find another place to live.
After living with them for 5 months, they kicked me out of the house.
I don't need the stress of my own mother creating issues like this in my life. Who needs the drama?
I would have kicked you out of the house, too. You're a psychopath. Like locking her kids out of your room, not doing anything around the house, and calling Child Protective Services. Who would want you to live there at this point? All right, so we know that she's crazy already at this point. So let's look at something else that she did.
My 6-year-old granddaughter loved to play games on my cell phone. One day, my phone was missing. My granddaughter would not give me my phone back, and Janine would not tell her to give me my phone.
Liz told my 6-year-old that she was going to call the police and have her arrested.
This lady is actually so crazy. If a 6-year-old would have taken my phone, I would have been like, no sweat, whatever. It's fine. But no, this lady for real told this 6-year-old that if she doesn't give her phone back, she's gonna call the police. A 6-year-old. She's 6, dude. 6. And she actually called the police, too.
I went to the neighbor's house and asked them to call the police. The neighbor called 911.
When the police officer realized that nothing was going on, he said, "Had a nice day," and left. At this point,
The police officer was a smart man. Every time he sees a psycho grandma, he's like, nope, I'm out. Peace. That's what I would have done too. All right, let's keep going.
my children have all told me that they don't want to have a relationship with their grandmother, and knowing how my mother acts and how dramatic she is, I don't blame them.
You called the police on a 6-year-old because he wouldn't give you your phone back?
See, look, Dr. Phil knows what's up. Yeah, she called the police on a 6-year-old. That's absolutely nuts. I wouldn't want to have a relationship with this nutcase of a grandma either. Get this grandma away from me. She's telling me get in the oven and clean up. I'm out of here. I'd rather have that grandma, not one that's gonna call the cops on me for using her phone to play games. All right.
Didn't call the police on a 6-year-old because she wouldn't give me my phone back. I called the police because my daughter refused to have her daughter return my phone. She knew exactly where it was.
I didn't know where it was. I had asked her several times, give Alma her phone so that she'll leave the room and you can just stay in here with me. And you scared her, you terrified her.
In fact, to this day, every time she sees a police officer, she cowers a little bit. She thinks that they're there for her.
She literally told me she does not want to see you because you called the police on her.
You called the cops on a 6-year-old?
I didn't call.
Yes, you did. Now, don't play semantics with me.
So the first time Dr. Phil asked her, she claimed that she didn't call the cops, and then now this time, she admits to it. She says, yeah, she did call. She's absolutely nuts. Like, I would not want to see this crackpot of a lady ever again either.
With me, you called the cops on a 6-year-old.
I wanted my phone, Dr. Phil. She had looked on my phone. She had read through all my text messages. I felt very violated.
After you
and
gave the phone to the kids
And you
unlocked.
thought that was
Oh, I wanted my phone, Dr. Phil. Oh my gosh. You're an old lady. What are you going to do on your phone? Play solitaire? Oh, at least that's what my grandma does. Just play solitaire on her phone all the time. All right, anyways, she felt violated because a 6-year-old went through her text messages. 6-year-olds barely even know how to read, probably. I don't know. I don't know if I knew how to read when I was 6. I was pretty dumb, but why would you feel offended if a 6-year-old went through your text message? Like, what?
The kids
and you
unlocked.
thought that was a police matter.
I told them it's not an emergency.
But you
I
called
told them it's.
911, which is an emergency number.
I really don't want to argue with you about it. It's just,
Well, I wouldn't either if I were you.
I don't want to argue about it.
Come on. I'm just talking about common sense here.
And-
If you guys are living in a place that is really a bad mess,
Well, let me ask you this, Dr. Phil. If she thought it was so deplorable, why'd she even move in? And then why did she complain when we asked her to leave?
well, let me ask you this question. Why is the house in such bad array to begin with?
It's not. It was in a mess because I was not feeling good at the time. But under normal circumstances, it's not.
Come on, don't try to defend me.
No, I'm not trying to.
indefensible.
I'm just trying to
I
defend.
mean,
just trying
Dr.
to be-
Phil does kind of get a point. Like, why would your house be in that much of a mess? Like, even if you were sick, you still have a lot of people living there, and your husband can still do the work when he gets home. So, like, it didn't need to be that much of a mess, but, like, come on. Like, why would she live there if she thought the place was so horrible? So,
There's two sides to this,
Absolutely.
and if the place is a pigsty, it's a pigsty.
Yeah, no, and again, it wasn't the best situation. Again, I was working. I was coming home after work, helping out as much as I could. We had a 13-year-old who, after school, she was helping. And again, we had another person in the house who was supposed to be helping, but wasn't pulling their weight. Because of that, again, obviously, Liz likes to always be the victim in a lot of situations. What will happen is she'll make up a situation such as, again, she didn't call the police, yet she just admitted she called the police. She went next door. I didn't give them the local number. It wasn't an emergency, and yet they responded in an emergent fashion. She always comes up with these stories and somehow is the victim of these situations that she creates herself.
Gotcha. I'll get that in a minute. Now answer my question.
Yes, sir.
Why are you raising 4 children in a house that is in such disarray? You weren't feeling good? Got it. There are a lot of other people in the house, and you weren't an invalid.
I aired those same grievances. I shouldn't be the only one responsible for picking up after everybody. So that is something that I aired my grievances with, including with Liz.
And Dr.
And
Phillips.
I have had my discussions with Nathan about it too. So,
like, I'm not saying anything, but it also seems like her husband doesn't like doing work either. Like, all right, yeah, like, I don't like doing work, but, like, I still do it, on occasion, but, like, you if your house was this much of a mess, you could at least help. Like, come on. You don't get home from work and be like, all right, honey, you get to do all the chores and watch the kids. I'm gonna go to sleep. Like, that's not how it works, unfortunately.
And you weren't helpless, right?
no, I still got up and cooked dinners and took
Yeah.
care of the kids. And
And here's the problem I've got. And listen, this is just common sense. And I see a lot of stuff sitting up here.
Sure.
And you guys are calling in the government to your family. You don't want to be doing that.
yeah, and that's exactly why we'd had enough with Liz.
I think for this family especially, I definitely wouldn't want to be calling the government and like, yeah, this crazy grandma called the cop on my 6-year-old. Okay, well, your house is in such a mess. Like, why is it in such a mess anyway? End of the story is you might lose your kids, and that would not be very cash money situation to be in. So, 0 out of 10 would not recommend. So. Alright, and that's gonna about do it for this video today. Listen to a crazy grandma call the cop on her 6-year-old and didn't do a thing for her daughter. So that was interesting, but hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and turn on bell notifications, and I'll have another one up either tomorrow or Saturday. But I'm out. Peace.